21 through 25. I want to try to put it in a language that's more contemporary. David told the Lord, but deal with me, O sovereign Lord, for the sake of your own reputation. He said, rescue me because you're so faithful and good. I'm poor and needy, and my heart is full of pain. I'm fading like a shadow at dust. I'm falling. Look what he said. I'm falling like a grasshopper that is brushed aside. My knees are weak from fasting. I'm skin and bones. I am the object of mockery to people everywhere. When they see me, they shake their heads. These are the words of a wounded man. A man who is hurting. A man who is disgusted. A man that is discouraged and broken. He's experiencing a low point in his life.
Amen.
He's overwhelmed by his troubles. And of course, tonight I'm speaking of David. I'm talking about David the king. I'm talking about the one that we know of as the giant killer. Can you say amen?
Amen.
I'm talking about the one where the word of the Lord said that he was a man after God's own heart. I believe that the Lord wants me to preach to you from this particular psalm tonight because there are many people who can relate to David. There are some individuals that are in this room right now whose hearts are wounded. I find now in my pastoral ministry and just in the ministry in general that we're dealing with a lot of wounded people. Folk that are broken on the inside. Say amen.
Amen.
Amen. And because of the brokenness and because of what is going on in the lives of so many people, it seems to make it maybe a little easier somewhat for the devil, the enemy, amen, to try to bring in a spirit of depression. Many times when I'm ministering to the people, amen, as I'm preaching, I can see a spirit of depression. When I'm on the altar praying for people, I can sense a spirit of depression. Say amen, somebody.
Amen.
Come on, say amen. The devil is trying his best to break the saints down. He's trying to wear you out. You need to understand something here. Because the devil certainly, he knows this. You see, you know it's wrong to commit adultery. Oh, say amen.
Amen.
He knows that you know it's wrong to drink. Come on, y'all. You don't go out in the streets to do drugs as saved individuals. Come on, y'all. Saints are not out there fighting and carrying on. Come on, y'all. If you are, you need to come back and repent. Amen. And so the devil knows that you know that. So he does not always come at you with just the temptation to sin. But he comes at you with different problems. He comes at you with different things, amen, that will work against your heart. Amen, to have a wounded heart. Amen, to take on a spirit of depression. He wants you to give up. Thank you, Jesus. He's trying to steal your joy. How many of y'all know that it is the joy of the Lord that is our strength? So he wants you to stop. Now, we had praise and worship tonight. He wants you to stop singing your song. He wants you to stop leaping for joy. Amen. He wants you to stop testifying. Say amen, somebody. Hallelujah. He doesn't want you to clap your hands any longer. He doesn't want you to declare that God is good and he's good all the time. He's trying to take that away from you. He wants you to have a wounded heart because if he can steal your joy, if he can stop you from coming to church, if he can stop you from rejoicing, amen, then he knows that what's going to happen? You're going to get weaker and weaker and weaker, amen, and eventually he can come back with some stuff. Amen. The temptation to sin, and then there is no strength. There is nothing to hold on at that point, and he'll have have you just where he wants you. But I come tonight to tell you, there is healing for the wounded. You ought to lift your hands and say, Lord, help me. Come on, y'all, lift your hand again and say, Lord, help me. Many of you tonight, you've had life experiences. And some of the life experiences have been bad ones. Amen. Now, I thank God for those of you who have withstood the test of times. Amen. You may have been, and I know there are testimonies here tonight of those that have been wounded on the battlefield of life. And yes, you were wounded, but perhaps tonight you can sing the song that said, I've been through the storm and the rain, but I made it. Does anybody have that testimony tonight? Can anybody say, I made it? Hallelujah! Come on and help me shout hallelujah. But it is so sad. There are so many others who cannot say the same. I began to look at a little research, began to look at some stats. Sadly, when I did my research, the author talked about the number of people who have committed suicide. The USA Today recently reported that in 2017, more than 47,000 Americans killed themselves. It's further stated that since 1999, the suicide rate has climbed 33% in this country. Won't you know these were hurting people with wounded hearts? You may say, preacher, why talk about it in the church? We're Church of God in Christ. We're saved and sanctified. But I'm finding out folks, they begin to reveal to me, or they may testify, amen, that because of the spirit of depression, we find folks in the church who have thought about taking their own lives. The devil does not care who you are. And you know, not only that, but at one time, it looked like we as black people, looked like we have the nerve to take our lives, you know, looked like we wouldn't do that. But it has grown in our race. And the scary thing about it is, amen, that the suicide rate for young people, children, little children, 7 and 8 year old are taking their lives. Wounded people. Can you say amen? Amen. The analysts begin to talk about why we have so much of this in our country. Why is this thing increasing when it looks like life seems to ought to be so much better? Because you got to admit, we're enjoying ourselves tonight. We're doing much better than what we were yesteryear. Y'all come on now.
Amen.
Oh yeah, we're doing a whole lot better now.
Yeah.
Say amen.
Amen.
We're doing better, but yet the rate of suicide, amen, the rate of depression, amen, wounded people is going up. So he gave a list of reasons. He talked about an increase of parental pressures, increased performance pressure, such as education, career, financial situations. You look at the fact now that even for our children that are in school, some of them are under the weight, they're under pressure, amen, to do well in school. Say amen, somebody. Amen. There's increased terrorist events and threats. Well, you might want to say, well, we don't see so much of that in Greenville. We may not, but don't y'all travel sometime? Anybody in here, do you ever go to Memphis, to a larger city? Amen, St. Louis and Atlanta, where it is more likely that something like that could happen? Come on. But it could happen in Greenville.
That's right.
Come on and say amen.
Amen.
Dramatic increase in violent television programs. Social media pressure. We got to be careful with this social media. Come on, say amen. The breakdown of the family unit. Amen. And most of what I just called out, our principal character, David, in this particular psalm, no doubt had experience. There was parental pressure that David dealt with. Because now, if you really study the life of David, David was not the best father. He was a great king. He was a great soldier. But he was not a good father. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Amen. Even though he was the king, there was some financial pressure. Amen. There was increased terrorist events and threats in his life. I know he did not experience violent television program, but he did have to cope with violence. I know you're wondering about it. I'm going to tell you in a minute. He experienced the breakdown of the family unit. Amen. There was so much pressure until he could not sleep at night, which is another indicator of wounded people. Let me remind you of what David said in the text tonight, and I'm using more of words that are more contemporary today. I'm poor and needy, my heart is full of pain, I'm fading like a shadow at dust, I'm falling like the grasshopper that is brushed aside, my knees are weak from fasting, and I am skin and bone. You see, when David wrote Psalm 109, it is believed by many of the theologians that David was running for his own life from his son Absalom. Say amen, everybody.
Amen.
Absalom, his son, stood against his own daddy and tried to take the kingdom away from him. And David literally had to gather a few of his servants, a few of the military men, and actually run for his life from the city of Jerusalem. The question may be, why would a son want to kill his own father and take the throne from him? Absalom was wounded.
Yes.
Did y'all hear what I just said?
Amen.
Absalom was wounded. Amen. Absalom was just like a wounded animal. And if you know anything about animals, I like to watch these shows, Animal Planet, you know, some of the other shows. You know anything about animals? When they're wounded and you get them trapped, they will come out fighting with all they have. Absalom is just like a wounded animal. He becomes dangerous, amen, to the people. Why is Absalom wounded? Are y'all still listening to me here tonight?
Amen.
He's wounded because his own brother Ammon, who was 22 years old, had raped their sister Tamar, who was single around 15 years old. Absalom's wound was deep, and it got worse when his father didn't do anything about it. Say amen, everybody.
Amen.
Come on and say amen. Absalom was wounded so much, amen, until he plotted, and he was successful in taking his own brother Ammon's life. He had his brother Ammon killed because of the awful deed. He did it because he was wounded. Say amen.
Amen.
Perhaps tonight you would say, preacher, I would never kill someone, not even my enemy. But wait a minute. While you may not ever kill anyone physically, some of you are lashing out at people because you are wounded.
Yes.
Oh, hallelujah. Somebody help me shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on, help me shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You might be a reserved person. You may be seen as someone being quiet. Amen. But when your back is against the wall, you come out swinging. Oh my goodness. The folks have never seen you like that before. Not knowing it's the result of your pain. And I try to teach at Middle of the Valley that we have to be careful when we're dealing with folks. Amen. You gotta be patient. Listen, if you don't have patience, you ought to ask God, Lord, help me to be patient.
Yes.
Help me to be patient. Because listen, you really don't know your neighbor's story.
Amen.
You really don't know what they're going through.
Amen.
There's some deep secrets in this church tonight.
Amen.
Say amen sometime.
Amen.
And because people are wounded, sometimes it causes them to act in a manner that maybe you might not approve of.
Amen.
Or you may think is strange.
Yes.
But they're acting the way they're acting because there's a wound in their heart. Thank you, Jesus. Somebody help me tell him thank you. Somebody help me tell him thank you. Then there's some of you who might be quite vocal. Amen. Yes. You know how to get the folks off of you. They step on your toe. You know what to say. You know how to react. But I found out a lot of times when folks are vocal in that manner. Amen. And they seem to have such a tough exterior. They may look mean and may act mean. Amen. They do so because they don't want you to get too close to them. They've been hurt in the past. Y'all come on, say amen. And because I've been hurt in the past, I'm not going to let anybody do me wrong anymore. I'm not going to let anybody get close to me. You find that these are individuals who won't trust people. Lord, I thank you. Yeah, they won't trust individuals. And listen, you have these type of people in the church. They won't trust individuals. And the church is a family. This is the family of God. Thank you, Jesus. We need to be concerned about our brothers and our sisters. But it's kind of hard to kind of cope with it and deal with folks, amen, when they are wounded and will not trust individuals. Can you say amen?
Amen.
Come on, everybody, say amen.
Amen.
While you may not kill anyone physically, amen, some people in the church, they don't have a problem in killing the influence of others. Oh, y'all might say amen. No problem in assassinating their character. Amen. I'm trying to illustrate a point here. Amen. Sometimes we talk so bad to one another. Sometimes, amen, we don't really open up to one another as we should. Come on and tell God thank you. Come on and tell God thank you. But you need to understand there are wounded people. And I perceive somebody is hurting tonight. I perceive somebody is wounded tonight. And God said, I want to heal the wound that's in your heart. Why don't you do this and say, Lord, have your way. Come on, say, Lord, have your way. Hold on, Brother Jim, I ain't quite there yet. Y'all come on and say amen. I'm going to get there in just a few minutes. But listen. I want you to know tonight that Absalom, and I'm going to come back to Absalom. Absalom is not the only wounded person. What about Tamar tonight? Tamar is also wounded. She's 15 years old. She's been sexually assaulted by her 22-year-old brother, Ammon. And the Bible said after this act that Tamar remained desolate in her brother's Absalom's house. The word desolate means to be devastated. It means to be ruined. What that tells me is that Tamar probably never got married. And in that day, every Jewish girl wanted to get married and have children. But it appears for the rest of her life, she was ruined because of that one particular act. Well, I need to talk about this, and sometimes people wonder, why do we talk about this in the church? I'm finding out that we have a lot of folks in our churches now who have been sexually abused. Amen. Come on, say amen. Come on and say amen. A few years ago, when I was working under Pastor Lewis in the youth department, my wife and I, we were over a session for the teenagers, and I think we had about 100 teenagers that were in that session, and somehow we came across this particular subject. And I want to tell you, you can see that the atmosphere of the room just changed. Those young people began to drop their heads, and we had to stop what we were doing and actually have prayer in that session because there were so many wounded children.
Yes.
Oh my God, that had been abused and misused. And I'm talking about, amen, these are people in the church of God in Christ. Can I stop here and just talk for just a moment? Because there's the big debate on Facebook and social media about R. Kelly. Amen. And let me just put it this way. Now I'm going to tell you what I believe. I believe he did. I really do. But whether you believe he did or he did not do it, it ought to be a wake-up call for everybody in America, especially African Americans, because this has been in our culture for many years. And so I want to say this to you tonight, particularly you who are parents and grandparents. You need to see about your children. You need to let your children go to anybody's house. I don't care if it is her uncle. I don't care if it is his auntie. Oh, you need to be watchful tonight. You need to raise your own children. Hallelujah. Stop, brother. dropping the children off by everybody's house, and you going out and having a good time, going to dinner, amen, going here and there. The devil won't be the devil. I said the devil is going to be the devil. And that's the reason we got folks right now, minds messed up. They have a problem within their soul. They don't know what to do. And this thing goes on, amen, into the adult years. I find that adults, amen, are yet crying, amen, yet having nightmares, yet dealing with problems because what has happened when they were young. Say amen, everybody. Come on and say amen. Oh, yes, Tamar, she was desolate. She was ruined. It happened by a family member. I can see her as some today. I believe some even here tonight. You try over and over to get past this problem, but yet it still hurts. It's yet fresh in your memory. Every time you thought you could escape the pain, it pops up again. But I come here tonight to tell you, don't do like Tamar and remain desolate and devastated for the rest of your life. Because I want you to know there's healing for the wounded. God wants to heal your heart. God wants to deliver you from plaguing memories. God wants to deliver you from your anxiety. All you got to do is open your heart and let Him in. It's time to tell the Lord, Lord, I need your help. It's time to tell the Lord, I need healing on the inside. Lord, I need you to fix what is broken on the inside. Lift your hand and shout yeah. Come on and shout yeah. So we deal with wounded people in this message. The principal character David, he's wounded. Oh yes, he is. His 15-year-old daughter is wounded. And there's Absalom, who is wounded. Let me go back and talk about Absalom. When you look at Absalom, he's hurting because the sister has been raped. And he kills his brother. And because he killed his brother, he left home. He left Jerusalem and went into the land of Geshur. Come on and tell him yes. Come on and tell him yes. He's hurting more because Dad has not done anything to reach out to him. Yes, yes, yes. Well, after 3 years, King David finally sent for the boy to come back home. But when he came back, he told the people, told the servants, send it to the long house. I believe David must have said, I don't want to see him for 2 years. I say 2 years. He refused to see his son. Come on and tell him thank you. Come on and tell him thank you. Another problem that we have in our community is the fact that so many of us, we are not, so many people, but not blessed to be around your father. I know I'm blessed because I got a relationship with my dad, and I thank God for that relationship. We got a close bond. Yes, we do. But somebody tonight, your father has been missing in your life, and He wanted to talk to David, but David paid no attention. So Absalom, he went to David's sheep estate by the name of Joab. And Joab, she couldn't arrange for the meeting. Guess what Absalom did? I said, guess what he did? He had his servants to set a fire in the field of Joab. And when Joab saw his field on fire, he knew it was Absalom. So then he went to Absalom and wanted to know what was wrong. And Absalom must have told him, I want to see Dad. Come on and shout yeah. Come on and shout yeah. Somebody, you set fire tonight. Come on and shout yeah. You're doing stuff that you ought not do. Thank you, Jesus. When you talk about preacher, now the folks busted that windshield, scratching car. Yes, they are. Spray painting home. It may not be your dad's house, but because you're angry and the wound on the inside, you do foolish things. Maybe you haven't done that. Maybe you have not cut anybody time, but you acted foolishly with the people on the job, cutting up with the folks in church. You need to realize, I need healing. I need the Holy Ghost to do something for me. Shout word! Come on, shout yeah. I told this message, but finally, y'all let me preach. I said finally, there was a meeting between Absalom and David and his father David. When they met, they embraced one another, and there was a kiss by his father, but it was a cold kiss. Yes, it was. They had not forgiven one another. So Absalom leaves and starts plotting to take the kingdom from his father. He went out and got some men that came to the ruler and declared him the king. Yes, they did. The people joined up with Absalom, and David literally had to run for his life. Out in the wilderness, there were times he had no food. There were times he didn't have shelter. I told you last night, Shimei was out there cursing David, throwing rocks, casting dirt on David. Come on and shout yeah. Come on and shout yeah. David is wounded. Come on and tell him thank you. Come on, lift your hand and tell God thank you. To make the story short, there was a war between the two groups, and eventually Absalom was killed, not Joab. And here David is again. He's crying, torn, wounded. Look at what has happened in his family. I said, look at what has happened. He's lost two sons. His daughter had been violated, so now he's wounded. Somebody tonight, you're carrying a wound because of family trouble, family problem. Come on and shout yeah. Mama didn't do you right. Grandma won't let you come to the house. You're separated from your first husband. Trouble on the inside. Yes. But let me tell y'all something. The reason some of y'all got a wound because of your family problem is because you won't forgive. I hear the Lord saying right now, it's time for you to forgive. Forgive your mom. Forgive your dad. They may have said the wrong thing. Forgive your grandfather. Forgive the auntie that was so mean. If David had forgiven Absalom, and Absalom had forgiven David, sin should have gone all the way. It's time to tell the Lord, Lord, But look like I'm telling this gal this note about forgiveness. Because forgiveness, if you don't do it, it's going to stop you from progress. Forgiveness will release God's favor on your life. Forgiveness will release God's healing in your life. Oh my God. Forgiveness, have to say forgiveness, will release you from bitterness. That bitterness that leads to hatred. Oh Jesus. Hallelujah. That bitterness that leads to upset stomachs. Leads to high blood pressure. If you will forgive, things will be so much better in your life. Lift your hand and say, Lord, help me. Come on and say, Lord, help me. Hallelujah. Come on and shout hallelujah. I'm getting ready to close. The time is far spent. But I want you to know God will heal the wound in your heart. Joseph was wounded, both physically and emotionally. Y'all know what his brothers did to him? What did they do? When he came out there, out of the field, they said, here comes the dreamer. And they threw him in a pit. And all indication the pit was dry. So I could see him when he fell in the pit, scarred up, cut up. But he's also hurting emotionally. So they were plotting to kill him. And when they decided not to kill him, they